One of the most misused terms in exploiting the continent today have been globalization, that Africa needs outsiders. And by globalization, I mean globalization in ideas, globalization in culture, and globalization in trade. Tell me in what way does Africa benefit in these three things? The globalization of ideas, but yet we are made to think one way. And what I see with globalization is globalization of Western ideas and Western values, with Africa lacking behind. We have been made to less appreciate the thinking and thoughts that have been locally initiated, to think that Africans cannot have the right mind to think for themselves. Again, when it comes to globalization of culture, what is there in the African continent, in our culture, that is highly appreciated and embraced by the rest of the world, and they are teaching their children today about the continent of Africa? It's of course no. What we see is a fact that cultural globalization is going in one way, where Africa is in the receiving ground. We receive all form of cultures and making us less appreciative of our own culture. Today, young people within the continent will hold and reference the Kim Kardashians, the Nollywood stars, paying less regard to their own community leaders. And the trends of the globe today is set by these very individuals. Are we then patriotic, and are we ready to be the solution for the continent? This is a question that we must answer if we want to move ahead, and if we really want to solve problems in the continent, and no longer be the peddlers of problem, but the merchants of solution, as in Professor Jibril Fall's word. Again, one of the things that the continent have been exposed to is the fact that with these governance systems, with the trading systems imposed as a result of globalization, I believe our elders sitting here can tell us about the structural adjustment plan introduced by the IMF and the World Bank. It has been one of the greatest or the biggest instrument used by the outsiders to make Africa as a continent less developed, poor continent, less appreciative of thinking and policies, and as well as grassroots initiatives. The structural adjustment plan have impoverished all African countries in the sub-Saharan region by making them prioritize their spending on things that are beneficial to the Western markets and to the Western politicians. Again, not only that, but today we feel happy to be with brands that are Western and of Western values than our own. And this is as a result of the trade that we have ventured in. One thing also that is certain, the misunderstanding of the ideologies that we embrace, the misunderstanding of the religions that we belong to today, the rejection of our own traditional spirituality have resulted into a disunity along the continent, and in this, young people are affected the most. As we are sitting here discussing about the future of the continent as young individuals, there are a group of young Africans in somewhere looking at another African as a threat, and if they have the chance to take their life, they will do so. And these are the same individuals that we need if we want to move ahead by transforming their minds and thinking into solutions and understanding that Africa as a continent needs to prosper as any other continent in the world. Again, we have to understand that as young people, sometimes we are trapped with the notion that we are young, So therefore we cannot act now, we have to wait. The question is, what and who are we waiting for? We have to think good in ourselves. We have to start appreciating Africa as a continent. We have to start thinking solution and meeting in occasions like this to have a dialogue, intergenerational dialogue, dialogues across the continent as young people in developing solutions that holds the fact that Africa is not a threat to herself, but we are a force that needs to work together to register the development that our continent desires. Today, in so many instances, we've seen global partners, big companies, coming down to the continent, exploring our own resources, using our own individuals as agents and as instruments to dominate our societies. And this is a living proof. Torado and Smith in development economics make mention of the comparator groups, that the white man don't have to travel the interior of Africa to extract resources any longer. They just need a young African programmed to do that work on their behalf. We have to understand that we are graduating engineers, we are graduating lawyers, we are graduating doctors, we are graduating individuals who should serve the interests and purpose of their communities. But today, a huge chunk of that graduates are the people that we're seeing sinking in the Mediterranean Sea. These are the same young women that we see in Arab countries being exploited and taken as modern-day slaves. These are the same individuals that the continent needs to harvest their talents and potentials in making sure that we can register the development that we desire as a continent. But again, saying all this as a problem in the continent, are there no solutions? Someone may ask. The young people are the agents of change, and they are the individuals that our ancestors and our old systems have tapped in order to make sure that they have registered success in their own development. They are apt, prolific, they are with disruptive mindset and thinking. The same young people are individuals that have the potentials to drive change and to drive growth among the continent. They are the innovators, they are the leaders, they are the workers, so therefore young people are the future. But that future starts now. Our investments must be diversified into things that are meaningful. Investment in education, and I mean real education, with potentials, with skills, and provide a ground for African youths to exhibit their talents within the continent. Again, investment in the health sector. Our mothers, our sisters, our young brothers need help and need attention. And they need us. So we therefore have to channel our skills in these very societies in making sure that we can give them the development and the need that they have. However, when we look at the continent, to some it may seem impossible to fix it. It is not yet impossible. We, the youths, have to take responsibilities. And to do that, we must start questioning. We must start questioning as young people. Questioning the political system. Questioning the education system. Questioning our social livelihood and being part of the solution. The world where these things have happened, things have also been questioned. So we must question. The violence against black people is a manifestation everywhere, in Europe, in the Americas, and in the continent. The fact that the black man becomes black only when they are in contact with the white man is sometimes bearable, but really painful. And the white man becoming white only when they are in Africa is painful, but then it comes with all the accorded privileges that we give them. I know because I've been traveling across the continent, and I see privileges where individuals deliberately ignore brothers and sisters as a result of their color and appreciate individuals just by their appearance. And this we must look into. We must start to appreciate ourselves. We must start to build respect, love, and unity among ourselves. But again, we have to be ready to unite ourselves, to make sure that as young people, this is not just for us to come and take selfish gain or selfish interest, but a cause that we must stand to liberate the continent, because we are the hope. And if we don't get it right this time, Africa can never make it. Before, it was colonialist economic systems. Now we have technology just on the side. We must be skillful, we must develop potentials, but we must be patriotic enough to save the trajectory for the African continent. And to do this, we must forget about our selfish gain. It is a cause out there that we must undertake. We must liberate this generation of Africa and generations of Africans to come. They don't deserve what we have experienced. And to save that, to build that, we must be the agents of change. And we have to be ready. And I will therefore want to put this question to all of us here today, that if we leave this particular hall, we are going as ambassadors. We are here as ambassadors of our own homes. We are here as ambassadors of our own institutions. And we are here as ambassadors of our own villages, our own towns, our own cities. We have to be ambassadors of Nigeria. We have to be ambassadors of Africa, because we are the eyes and ears of the continent. And whoever sees us should see Africa. Whoever sees us should see unity, should see respect, and should see dignity across the board. This is a message that I want all of us to think and also to make actions towards. Again,